What's going on, Be Risers? We be rising every day. We be smelling the flowers every day. Hope you guys get a chance to smell the flowers. If you don't have any flowers, go buy yourself some flowers. Surround yourself with beauty. And that's what we're going to get into today, is how to change a negative mind frame, negative thoughts. And really, a negative mind frame is just about changing the picture in the frame. We'll get to that later. So I'm going to give you guys some tips on how to get out of negative thoughts, a negative mindset. And I've been there, right? The mind is like so powerful, what we can do, but also what the mind can prevent us from doing. The mind is so powerful. So I'm going to give you guys some tips because I've been in a negative mindset. It can be so brutal because it can prevent you from, being motivated and doing what you want to do, finding your purpose. And a lot of times the outside world, if we allow it, it can affect our internal terrain. So I'm just going to share with you some tips that have helped me, what I've done to really get out of my mind and become more in control of my mind rather than my mind controlling me. So what has helped me first and foremost is peaceful environment. So you guys see, I'm outside a lot. I'm in nature, and that's because it relaxes me. And it's where I've just at most peace with the birds, the bees, the trees. And it's so important to put ourselves in a peaceful environment because everything is energy on this planet. And we're interacting with energy on a day-to-day basis. So if we're in a stressful environment, that can definitely impact ourselves if we allow it to. And if we're in, especially in the concrete jungle, there's so much going on. And a lot of people are running from place to place. A lot of times they're stressed. I don't know where they're going, but they're in a rush. And a lot of times if we're sensitive, we can be very sensitive to these energies. And then if we don't have control over our emotions and our thoughts, we can start bringing all of this into our internal terrain. So we want to make sure first and foremost, we put ourselves in a peaceful environment where we can breathe, we can relax, and we can start to be more in the present moment, which we'll come to later. And then we can start to hear our own voice. We can meditate, right? A lot of times just breathing can relax us. Just to concentrate on our breathing, just start observing our breathing. So helpful. The next point I want to make is the energy we're interacting with. So first, it's about putting ourselves in a peaceful environment. So the environment is so important. And then to observe the energy that we're interacting with on a day-to-day basis. Because there's so many people that have anxiety, that are stressed. And if we're interacting with these people and we don't have a good, shield around us, then we can start to bring in this energy. So we want to make sure that we're also aware of the energy that we're interacting with on a day-to-day basis, and that we're surrounding ourselves with positive people, uplifting people, inspiring people that are going to help you rise. And the energy that we're interacting with, we want to make sure that we're not surrounding ourselves with people that are just, sucking the life energy out of us. So we want to make sure that we're surrounding ourselves with people that are going to fill our cup, not empty our cup, right? Because we are 70% water. And what they're finding, even with physics now, is just the power of your words which we're going to get into next. But the power of your words on even on water, like vibration, can have an effect on water. So our sound is so important. What we say to ourselves, which is affirmations. So that's the next point I want to say. Affirmations. How do you talk to yourself? The relationship you have with yourself. A lot of times we get into negative thoughts, negative thinking, because of what we're telling ourselves. Our words are so powerful, and that can affect our day, our perspective, right? Our thoughts, what we're telling ourselves. A lot of times we may be saying, I am this, I am not good enough, I am never going to do this. So instead, we want to start looking at reading affirmations daily and start saying, I am good enough, I can do this, and I am going to be the greatest. And the power of your words is going to affect your thoughts. It's going to change that picture in the frame, because once you start saying, I am the greatest, I am beautiful, I am worthy of love and happiness and health, then that changes a picture in our mind, right? And we can start working towards that picture that we see. But it first starts with the words that we're using. So powerful in changing our perspective and getting us out of a negative slump. So start reading affirmations every single day. The next one is control. Remembering who is in control here. You are in control of your thoughts, right? You are in control of your mind. Don't let your mind control you. And if thoughts come in, right, you don't know where they're coming from, you can decide whether you want to focus on them or if you just want them to pass like a cloud. So you have control whether you want to focus on a certain thought or not. Now, if for whatever reason, if I have a negative thought come in my mind, sometimes I'll, observe it, but I can easily let it go. But what I do is if a negative thought comes in, I can throw it in the trash can. I don't have to pay attention to it. And I become in control of my mind and not let my thoughts control me. So realizing that you have control. You are in control of your mind and what you choose to focus on. Okay, so that is super important. Realizing that you're the one in control here. The next one is eating. What are you eating? What foods are you eating? That's going to impact your adrenal glands, your kidneys. I notice a lot of people they come to me and they say, I have a lot of anxiety, I have a lot of stress, but they're just downing the caffeine, the coffee, the energy drinks, right? So that's going to overstimulate the adrenal glands, which will pump, it'll get you in a state of fight or flight, pumping cortisol, right? So we want to make sure that what we're bringing in our body is health. So lots of herbal teas are good, as well as lots of berries, grapes, dark grapes, leafy greens, high in magnesium, which is going to calm those adrenal glands down, calm you down. Really helpful with anxiety. Getting lots of fruits and vegetables in your body is so important to have a good, clean fuel source coming in your mouth. Not only that though, but it's what are you eating with your eyes? What are you looking at? What are you paying attention to? What are you bringing in to your mind? Is it positive? Right? So we want to make sure what we're looking at, what we're focusing on, and is it helping us? Is it inspiring? Is it positive? because that's going to definitely impact our state of mind. So we want to make sure what we're tuning into. So important. Our senses, what we're listening to, what we're bringing in that way. What are we eating with our eyes, our ears, our mouth? So important to look at and analyze, right? The next one is fear, right? So I talk a lot about what are we bringing in with our eyes. Well, if we're focusing on all the fear out there, whether that's the news, whatever's in the news, or what people are telling us, if we focus on that, that's just going to keep manifesting. So we don't want to run our lives on fear. We want to face everything and rise and realize that a lot of the news out there is fake, right? So we have to be careful of what we're tuning into, what we're believing, and what we don't want to have fear controlling us. We don't want to live in a state of fear. Remember, we want to take care of our adrenal glands and our kidneys, because if we're pumping, lots of caffeines, we can be in a state of anxiety, and that can cause us to, gravitate to more fear-based people or news. So we want to make sure that we are in a calm environment and we're not listening to all this fear, right? So we want to, the next point is surround ourselves with uplifting people and surround ourselves with looking up, keeping our eyes on the stars. Look up. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a superstar. That's you. So we want to keep uplifting, keep surrounding ourselves with uplifting people. And I got so many birds around me right now. It's awesome. We want to, surround ourselves with tune into positive people, uplifting people. That's going to motivate us. That's going to help us. The next, I got some birds behind me. I can feel them. The next one is living in the present moment. Try to live in the present moment. How do we do that? Well, we have to get out in nature. We have to start observing the present moment, first of all. To get out of the mind, we want to simply observe our thoughts, even just observe our breathing, right? Just pay attention to our breathing. Meditate, right? Having a space that's peace and quiet where you can just, just simply be in the present moment and let things come to you, right? But you don't have to focus on anything. You can just focus on being in the present moment. Just focus on the trees. If you need to ground yourself, take your shoes off, ground yourself, touch a tree, hug a tree. And that will bring you in the present moment. Just simply observing and not letting your thoughts control you. You becoming the one in control of your thoughts. So important to live in the present moment. That's going to take you out of the mind and into the present, which is beautiful. And last, but one of the best, is love, right? So surrounding yourself with loving people, finding love within yourself, right? Focusing on the positives that you love about yourself. And everybody has talents. Everybody has something different than another person. And that's what makes this whole universe so beautiful, is that we're all different expressions. And we all have something to offer. So we want to spend more time getting to know who we are, what we love about ourselves, and do more of what we love, because that's time well spent. And we want to keep focusing on love and not fear. And that is really going to change our mindset, change that picture in the frame. Right? Whatever you want to think of, whatever you want to put in your mind, you can start changing those pictures, start creating those pictures for yourself. And that's going to change your mindset. That's going to change your frame of mind. Right? So whatever you want to put in that frame, make sure it's based on love, happiness. And that's what you can continue to focus on and build. But remember who is creating this picture, right? You have control over what you want to put in your mind. And try to just be more in the present moment. That's where you're going to find your peace, and that's where you're going to find your strength. And if we do all this daily and we start to focus on all these points, we start to realize that we are way more powerful than we think. We want to simply be ourselves, not change for anybody, and start loving ourselves more. And if we spend more time with ourselves, getting to know who we are, what we love about ourselves, that is going to keep us motivated, because we're going to, we're going to want to keep doing what we love. We're going to want to keep focusing on what we love and focusing on our strengths and how we can use that to better this planet is going to help other people, right? So I hope all of these points help you out. Remember to just try to get out in nature, get in the present moment, and just keep focusing on the love, not any fear-based stuff. We just want to throw that in the trash can. All right, you guys. We will see you guys in the next video. As always, be your beautiful selves. Be getting in some nature today, fresh oxygen, some peace, some meditation. When you do that, we'll all be rising.